You are watching Chinese TV stations of Europe.
Salve a tutti i telespettatori. Il libro The Enigma Discovery Rebiya Kadeer, scritto dagli autori Paul Lawrence e Dalim Alexander.
Are you interested in the book The Uyghur Enigma Discover Rebiya Kadeer?
Yes, I think it's a very interesting book, and I found it quite informative.
Why were you interested in this book at that time and agreed to do this interview?
Well, there's a long-running history of conflict between the Uyghurs and the Chinese central government, and I was more interested in trying to understand why these conflicts had taken place and why they varied over time.
Would you be interested in Xinjiang after you read this book?
Oh yes, definitely. I would love to visit there and interview people about what they think is going on between themselves and the government, and to better understand the situation there.
Will you be more interested in Rebiya through this book?
Definitely. So it's led me to read a number of different sources about her. So certainly, for example, the US State Department reports, The Guardian has done a number of pieces on her, and also the Uyghur Congress websites as well.
And what would you say are the positives of the book?
So I think the positives really are to draw attention to this issue. It's certainly something that I didn't know very much about before, and it's led me to read more widely. I think the other thing is that there are sort of clearly very different viewpoints on issues, like, for example, issues of greater autonomy and independence that we might take much more serenely in the UK, whereas actually in places like China, or as you're seeing, for example, in Spain at the moment, they're much more conflictual. And to get a sense that actually not everyone thinks about these similar issues similarly, I think was quite instructive. And I suppose finally just the amount of conflict there is over even basic historical facts, that these groups can't agree upon them.
What is Rebiya's status and the role in the eyes of the British, the Westerners and the Western world? In the description in this book accurate?
Obviously I can't say whether the description is accurate without actually following all the references and checking its accuracy. But in terms of the general status, well, it's mixed. Sophisticated people obviously take cynical views about these various political movements, but it's true that the popular right-wing press will have her as some sort of freedom fighter fighting against Chinese authority and that sort of thing. But it's quite mixed, and I think she still carries weight in America, but I think that will probably decline over the years because she lacks a real connection with China.
Okay, thank you. Rebiya said she is the Uyghur mother. Do you agree with this view through this book, and why?
No, I don't agree with it at all. I mean, she just positioned herself as that. There's no connection between her and the majority of people, and there's no way that in any democratic sense she represents those people. She's just proclaimed herself to be the mother. I think it's just quite false.
Enigma discover Rebiya Kadeer. Why were you interested in this book at the time and agreed for the interview?
So I was interested in the book, The Uyghur Enigma, The Discovery of Rebiya Kadeer, as I'm a Turkish national, and I was very interested in knowing Turkish roots throughout Eurasia. And yeah, it particularly caught my interest, and I was curious to learn more.
You've heard Rebiya before. Do you know anything about her after reading this book? How did you evaluate and judge about her?
She made falsified statements, she ignores facts, she resorts to blackmail and extortion and bribery and black market dealings. And that's how she creates her that's how she accumulates wealth.